If you're giving to get, these unspoken deals are ruining your marriage. You cannot love your wife with strings attached and expect her to feel safe with you. This was probably the most destructive trait that I had in my marriage. This idea of giving to get. These unspoken rules where you think you're doing kind things and you think you're being thoughtful and showing love, but underneath it all, there's a manipulative streak. This voice inside that says, if I do this, maybe she'll do that. And here's the thing. All of this is done in secret. And suddenly you're not giving from a place of love. You're doing it without words, without agreement, without transparency. It's manipulative, and she senses that. She can feel it, and that causes resentment, and you get frustrated, and she's confused, and then your marriage feels like it's stuck, like it's in emotional quicksand, because you're giving to get instead of giving from love. And you create these unspoken deals with your wife that she's never agreed to, and it's not honest leadership. Because when you're giving to get, you offer affection and kindness and attention and all these things, not because it's honest, but because you're hoping it earns you something in return. On the surface, it looks like love, but it's actually a transaction disguised as generosity. And the problem is, she never agreed to that deal. She didn't know there were strings attached. And this damages emotional trust, because when she doesn't give back in the way that you hoped she would, you get resentful, you get butthurt, you go silent, you get angry, you withdraw, you go passive-aggressive, she gets confused, and the cycle just repeats. Ask yourself, where am I giving with the hope of getting something back? What do I feel when I don't get the response I expected? I mean, truly be honest with yourself and ask yourself, am I doing this from love or from fear of not being loved? And in many ways in my past, I did this and realized I was doing it, but in other ways, I didn't realize it. I've had some of my guys say, I don't do that. But then they'll say things like, I do everything around here and get nothing back. They'll say things like, she didn't even notice what I did for her. One I heard just the other day was from a client saying, look, I've been super nice and I've been trying not to rock the boat lately, and she's still cold and distant. Because you're thinking, after all I do, she'd at least want sex. Or some variation of that. That's all evidence of an unspoken deal that she's never agreed to. She's not equating doing the dishes with giving you sex and affection, but you gave something and quietly expected payment in sex, affection, affirmation, validation, gratitude,